Hi guys, I'm back after a brief hiatus. I spent much of last week ill, and I'm just coming to the tail end of it now, as you can probably hear in my voice. So yeah, while I've been gone, Arsenal have been terrible. We got spanked by Man City again for the second game in 4 days, and then we lost to Brighton. Now this is what I really want to focus on is the Brighton game. Obviously Brighton were really good. Defensive performance was great. They didn't let us through, but Arsenal were awful. Like, it was a really dire performance. Like, starting at the back, like Petr Cech makes, it seems a mistake every game now. And for someone who is a Premier League legend, what he did with Chelsea. He will go down in the history books, but since he's been at Arsenal, I'm not sure if it's him on the decline. I'm not sure whether it's Wenger. I'm not sure whether it's the goalkeeping coaches, but there's something going on which has meant that Petr Cech has declined as a footballer and as a goalkeeper. And to be honest, he made a couple of decent saves on Sunday, but he also was at fault for our goals. Not directly at fault, but he was a deciding factor in the fact that we conceded two shocking goals from crosses in our box again, which we've shown time and time again that we're weak at. Callum Chambers should not be at Arsenal Football Club. It's that simple. He is... Number one, he's not a right back. And when he first came to Arsenal, he showed a lot of potential, but then he got destroyed by Jefferson Montero when Swansea beat us a couple of years ago, and then he played in a 4-3 loss at home to Liverpool, and he just showed that he's not good enough. Mustafi again is not good enough. Sometimes him and Koscielny play together and they're unbelievable. Like the game against Tottenham earlier in the season, they looked impenetrable, but then there is a fundamental problem in Mustafi's gameplay where I'm not sure whether he loses concentration or whether he just out and out just is inept, just an inept defender, because he'll lunge in, he'll try and win the ball back, he'll give away fouls, he will lose concentration. He lost Glenn Murray for the goal. Glenn Murray just walked in behind him. It wasn't even a difficult manoeuvre to counteract. Like, he just walked behind Mustafi. He was at fault for one of the goals in the Carabao Cup as well, in the first goal, and Aguero just nudged into him in the back. Never a foul, in my opinion. He just showed how shocking he is. Koscielny is another player that's been completely on the decline recently. I'm not sure whether it's because he's injured, but apparently he was one of the players who came out and said, like, his kids turned around to him and said, "Why are Arsenal so bad?" And he said it and he was in tears. And then you go and produce a performance like that, a performance where I have not seen you give the ball away that many times in one season that you did in one game. But you want to give it a load of rubbish saying that you burst into tears when your kid asked you how bad Arsenal were, and then you go and perform like that. It doesn't sit with me. I think it's a load of rubbish. Kolasinac played. I feel really bad for this guy because at the beginning of the season, he looked like an absolute tank and like he was going to be an unbelievable signing. One of the signings of the season. Didn't play much over the Christmas period because Wenger wanted to give him a break. And then ever since he's come back, he's looked immobile, he's looked rusty, he looks like he can barely move his feet. Something I've just noticed as well. Why are you mugging me off? He looks like he's not cut out at the moment for Premier League football. Maybe that will come back with a return to fitness after being so long out. Mkhitaryan, I'm not sold on him yet. Really not sold on him. Like, he played well against Everton, but everything was going his way, and it was a home game as well, so the home fans behind him, that sense of excitement was there. Xhaka, I'd rather have Scott Brown. I'm not even lying. I would rather have Scott Brown. Maybe move Xhaka further forward in midfield, but get someone who actually has discipline, can actually tackle, actually has heart, and can actually play football in that area. Put in a tackle, pass the ball off simply. Xhaka can't even do that. He gives the ball away so much, and it's ridiculous. He's cost us so many goals from errors. Jack Wilshere, stop coming up with excuses. Just stop doing it. Go out and show to us. Get everyone else. Pick them up by the you know, by the scruff of their neck, make them play football. You know, people think you're a future captain. Go and prove it. Show us. Who else? Iwobi. I don't rate him. I do not rate him. Rated him when he first came onto the scene. He looked young. He looked exciting. He looked direct. Do you know what he reminds me of? Do you remember the person in school or after school who would always used to tell you that, oh yeah, I had trials at you know, at Crystal Palace, at Chelsea, but it actually turned out that he went to one of their youth days or a youth academy event where they had to pay like £20 to get in. That is Alex Iwobi telling us that he's a footballer, or telling us he's JJ Okocha's nephew or something like that. His mum's probably best mates with JJ Okocha's mum or something. Like there is not a direct correlation. JJ Okocha is one of the most entertaining footballers in Premier League history, and he made Arsenal look like mugs time and time again. And Iwobi is making us as Arsenal fans look like mugs. Like, it's just not... Iwobi has promise, he has potential, but he is not showing it to us at the moment. Maybe he needs to go out on loan, get some kind of confidence, get some proof that he has this ability, and then come back, because I'm really not sure at the moment. Aubameyang I feel sorry for. When he scored, it looked like he didn't know what to do. And that to me says a lack of confidence. But how can you be lacking confidence that much when you've only been at a club for like a month? Arsenal's a sorry state of affairs at the moment, and it all starts at the top. It all starts with Wenger for me. I'm not going to stand here in public, sit here in my corner of my bedroom and publicly lambast him, because it's not right for what he's done, but he does need to go. There does need to be that kind of period of transition now where Wenger hands over to someone else, and it's all started in the back already, you know, with the change of sporting directors and Sven Mislintat, and I may have pronounced that wrong, but I'm very English and also have a cold. But it also needs to come down to it, because it looks like to me that he's lost the players, and when you lose the players, we've been in crisis before where we've, you know, ended up coming fourth and got into the Champions League anyway. This is completely different. It looks like he's lost the fans, he's lost the board, he's lost the players, the rest of the staff. It genuinely looks like this could be the culmination of it. And we don't even have Champions League football to satiate our appetite for good football. We're in the Europa League and we lost recently to Österland. You know, a Swedish team which no one's barely ever heard of. So Arsenal need to shape up. Thank you for being patient with me while I've been ill. And I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, like I said, Arsenal Fan TV Lite. I share some of the same views, but I'm not going to be poisonous about it. And, you know, it doesn't mean I'm not passionate. I had a season ticket for a year or two, which me and my dad shared. I got up there as much as I could, but at the time I was a student and didn't have any money. But yeah, Arsenal, give us something to cheer about, please. Pew out.